info. He said, what is Sigma Finance? And then the example of Sigma bonds all about. Is there anything that makes it stand out from other bond-related DeFi products in the market?
Yeah, I don't know how to compare with other bonds because, well, I don't have much experience with bonds protocols on Ethereum. I don't even know any popular protocols. So I know the yield protocol, but I'm not sure its instantiations are popular, actually.
Yeah, I do know that Sigma Finance is a project that Cheese Enthusiast is working on. Everything is open source. His goal from the GitHub, at least, is to have basically some financial contracts that are all open source that ideally people will review, refine, help build out. Kind of create basic DeFi primitives and extended UTXO. That are relatively clear in terms of their assumption, and then hopefully build them out, see what catches on. Bond-related DeFi products on the market, my opinion, usually has to do with pegging it to some other token. And then you have to look at the assumptions you would make in terms of the emission of that token, or the use case of that token, or the internal distribution and the market distribution of that token. And is it needed and is it stable? It's hard to say product to product. But usually there's some risk assumptions that users need to be aware of when there is like a secondary token in terms of what is it for. And, sometimes then the actual protocol, or like the bond protocol itself, becomes kind of dependent on that token and other markets. And, if it's not so attractive, the protocol itself becomes not so attractive. But that's the case for a lot of things in DeFi, to be honest.
Yeah, and bonds can be used to build other tools. So, for example, that yield protocol is actually building a stable coin on top of zero coupon bonds.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting approach. Alternative to DAI, right, which is using CDPs as a building block. And also could be useful for fundraising, right? So instead of issuing tokens, right, selling tokens, so a project can, actually proposing tokens as collateral, right? Just taking loans, right, with some other kind of collateral, not own tokens.
Yeah, and you also have the revenue aspect, right? You have a type of revenue bond where wherever you have fee accumulation, you could potentially create a product that allows the developer or project to kind of borrow up front and then distribute those fees into some kind of product with a payout period. That's another way to potentially raise money. It would depend on what the revenue looks like, and at least because that's on chain, potentially it could be predictable and packaged in a way that's somewhat transparent. You would be taking risk in terms of time, but interesting thing to play with, because potentially it does shift things away from more speculative ways of fundraising. Let's just say that.
Also it could be more fine-grained than issuing application tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.